Evening, everyone. I hope all is well with you all. I just wanted to come in and talk to you all. Hopefully, this message will encourage you and give you something to think about, right? Because I've dealt with it as a recovering people pleaser. I'm far removed from that. But I was just thinking, I was listening to something just now, and I said, let me go ahead and talk to my family to let them know how to deal with this, right? And we've heard it said before. When people show you who they are, believe them, right? When people show you who they are, believe them. The thing I was notorious for giving people the benefit of a doubt. I have no more benefit of the doubts to give people. That bank is, depleted. That bank has been exhausted. There is no more benefit of the doubt coins in that bank, which means I really do believe people for who they show me to be. I don't care how nice they try to come back around after they have shown me them their true self, because a person's true character will always be exposed when they meet you. Because a person who can be nasty with you, who could feel jealous, who could be intimidated, who can be, unapproachable, or, they have this resistance for whatever reason, that's who that person is. That's who that person is. If the person is a nasty, if that person has an attitude, or they have their face all contorted when they see you, we call it the stank face where I'm from. If a person got the stank face, they don't even know you. That's who that person is. That's a hater. That's a jealous person. And a jealous person could hurt you. So you don't want to deal with those type of people. You don't want those type of people in your atmosphere, your bubble. Right? When the person show you that, believe them. Yes, you can be cordial. Yes, you can be respectful, but never to bring that person close. Never bring that person close, because they've already shown you who they are. For a stranger to give you the stank face and they don't even know you, they have not gotten to know you, they have an issue within themselves. They have more of a problem with themselves than you. But you have to, as the young folks would say, clock it and remember that. Because people will prejudge you because of the light that you have, the energy that you exude, right? How you present yourself. I'm glad I was never raised to view the world as competition. To see someone else who is beautiful, who looks nice, and to feel like it's taken away from me because that person looks nice. When I see a nice woman, I think I'm worse than the man. Not that I'm a lesbian or nothing. I like to see a well put together woman, right? A woman that carries herself well. That's an inspiration to me. I get inspired. I smile. Sometimes I stare a little too much. I got to catch myself before they think I'm some type of weirdo or something, But my point is, I wasn't raised to compete or look at someone else and be jealous, or as if that's taken away from me. Because I know who I am. When you know who you are, you don't feel like someone is taking something for you. The moon and the sun shine at different times. We both could shine at different times, or even at the same time. But I just don't see people that way. I'm glad I wasn't raised to be that way. Or I don't see the world as a competition, or me seeing another nice looking woman and feel like oh, it's competition or she's going to take something from me. No. No. I never viewed the world that way or people that way. I just never didn't. Like, I don't understand how, in my head, I can't process that because I don't see it that way. And I'm glad I don't. I can see it. I can see people doing that to others, but I just can't process, like, no, that's just not me. I like seeing another beautiful, well-dressed, well-groomed, especially the ones who talk proper. See, I'm country. I'm so country. I'm country. So I'm so country. People always ask me, what country are you from? What island are you from? I am not from the island, okay? I'm born and raised right here in these United States of America. They always ask me, do I speak Creole or am I Jamaican? And I said, I'm sure we all cousins somewhere. It depends on where your ancestors jumped off the boat at. It never fails, right? They're always asking me. But I'm just not raised that way. I just wasn't raised or brought up that way. And I'm blessed that I wasn't, make sure, oh, I can turn left. I'm glad I wasn't brought up that way. Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't know where I'm going in my directions here. But I'm glad I wasn't brought up that way. But I just don't have that issue. But my point is, oh, it really does. I'm driving. It includes anyone. See, what I've learned, because I've experienced some of that, what I had to learn was I had to take titles off people. I had to take, oh, that's my family. Oh, that's my cousin. That's my sister. I had to take titles off people, because if you leave titles on people, you're going to give them passes. And that's when it leads to abuse. You can tell when somebody's envious and jealous of you. You can tell. But because they're a family and we have this expectation of that they're family, we excuse them. And I don't do that foolishness no more. I stopped doing that. I graduated from that foolishness. And I tell you, I graduated from that. I did. I started removing titles, and I started seeing people for how they treated me and what they were doing to me and how they were not supporting or how they were talking about me or let other people talk about me. If you did any of those, we're not family. We're relatives, but we're not family, because I don't do that. That's not something I do. And I had to stop being naive and gullible and, feeling bad, because we will feel bad and get our emotions and feelings and things when it comes to family. We'll justify. We'll feel sad and feel like we're just turning our backs on them. No. Look at how those folks are treating you. I had to deal with that. That was the hardest thing for me to deal with and come to reality and realize these people don't like me like that. And I didn't do anything to them. But what I'm not going to stop doing is growing. What I'm not going to stop doing is becoming the best I could be. Because people will try to make you or treat you bad so you can stop being so ambitious. So you can stop striving and doing and being and becoming all God has called you to be. Because when God has called you to be something, you're going to be it. I don't care if you don't want to be it. You will try to dull yourself. You will try to dim your light because you know you're going to be attacked by people. But when God has put his hands on you and called you, oh, you have to become. Not that you want to become, you have to. It's a mandate. That's why it's a calling. It's a calling for a reason. It's a calling. That's my old hairdresser over there. But yeah, it's a calling. So, and people don't know how to deal with that, because I didn't know how to deal with it. I had to learn to deal with it. It took me 30 years, 35 years, 40 years to finally come to terms with the truth and stop rewriting the narrative, because I rewrote the narrative. I did. I tried to rewrite people. I tried to rewrite and you know, tell myself. I lied to myself, say, no, they can't be. You know, you'll tell yourself, oh, no, they can't be hating on me. That's my mama. My mama can't be no hater. That's my bro. My bro can't be hating on me. That's my, as we would say, ace boon coon. My day one. My rider. Babe, boo. No, they can't be no hater. Them be the ones right there be hating on you, because they close to you. You tell them everything. Them be the ones hating on you. Them be the ones cursing you. Them be the ones going to see, what that lady name who, going to see Cleo, rest her soul. Her name Cleo. Them the ones be going to see Cleo on you. You know, them the ones. It be the familiar. It be them household witches. Because you tell them everything. How do you think? Why do you think you can't progress like you want to progress? It wasn't until I walked away from everybody. I walked away from it all. The dog, the cat, the rat, the birds. I think it's my turn. I walked away from everybody. I walked away from it all because I had to get myself together. And I couldn't get myself together because I had all these different energies pulling on me. You got to, this is what you got to do. You have to cut the emotional and spiritual cord from your family. Because if you don't cut that cord, and that comes with a lot of prayer, you need to be delivered, right? It's called deliverance. When you can cut that cord, it's called deliverance. Because if you don't cut that cord, you can move to China and you still gonna be connected to that foolishness. You still gonna feel like you're held back. So you have to do a lot of spiritual work. And I'm not talking about all this yoga and all this new age stuff. I mean, really getting with God, asking God to show you what you're struggling with, show you your issues, and he'll show you. You just have to be ready for the truth. A lot of us don't be ready for the truth. A lot of us don't want to see our family members who are haters. We don't want to believe that they're haters. When God show us, we don't want to believe that. And those be the ones. We don't want to believe Boo and Bay the hater. Bay is the hater. You don't want to believe your Bay. You don't want to believe Bay is the hater. Watch Bay's actions. Do Bay support you? Do they cheer for you? When you up, how is their attitude? What their demeanor is like? That's how you could tell. We ignore all of this stuff. When you're doing good and you're cheering for yourself and happy, what is their attitude? What is their disposition? What is their disposition? That was the hardest thing for me to do, to come to terms with the truth. The truth hurts. Old folks used to say that, and it does. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. We don't want to believe it, but it hurts. It hurts. So, but believe, folks, when they show you, believe them. We don't want to believe it. But I'm glad I'm seeing a lot of people waking up. There's this awakening. People are waking up and coming to terms with the truth. And that your life could be so, if you want peace, acknowledge the truth. Acknowledge the truth and move accordingly. Cut the cords, cut people off, stop. You don't have to hate them. The hardest thing for me to do, because I was brought up in a religious family. I was brought up in religion that really had no fruit. It kept me bound. But once I released myself from religion and got a personal relationship with God, I was able to see the truth. Because religion will keep you bound. A personal relationship with God will free you, because you're going to see the truth. You're going to see the truth, and you can be at peace. That's why so many religious people, they're depressed. They're dealing with anxiety because they have no true relationship. They're just doing religious things. They're staying in marriages that God did not ordain. They're keeping in contact with family because people are using scriptures to keep you bound with demonic family who is causing harm than good, who's doing more harm to you than good because of religion. Oh, forgive, you got to forgive. And, yes, you got to forgive, but I'm going to go over here and you can go way over there. I'm going to forgive you and I'm going over here. I forgive you. I love you. I bless you, because God say, bless your enemies. I believe in that. Bless them and don't curse them, because when you bless them, you're releasing yourself from the soul tie and the curse. That's why some of you all can't get over what your family did to you. You can't get over the abuse. You can't get over those things because you have not forgiven. When you forgive and bless those people, you are freeing yourself, and they get to carry the weight of what they've done. You're carrying the weight because you haven't forgiven. Oh, you talk to somebody who know anybody taught me this. I'm experienced in this. You know who taught me this? Experience. Experience and revelation and getting in my secret place with God, personal relationship, not religion. Because religion to have you stuck in marriages that God did not ordain. One thing about religion, let me tell you about religion. Religion always want to slap God on something that God did not ordain. Because if God ordained that, we would not be fornicating before marriage. We would not be shacking up before marriage. Everybody who the preacher or the pastor so-called marry, they've been shacking up. They living together. God ain't ordained that foolishness. God did not ordain that foolishness. That's why so many divorces. Because we built that stuff on fornication and lust. We didn't do it God's way. And this is why, and this is how I know that religion will keep you bound. But when you do it God's way, you're going to turn away from what the world tells you to do. You're going to test drive the car before you buy it. No, you ain't. No. No. Ain't no test driving no car. If you're doing it God's way. Right? But they'll have you in an abusive, the religious leaders will have you, you can't leave your spouse, but your spouse over there bashing your eyeball out, your religious spouse over there bashing your eyeball out. He got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mistresses and side chicks, and they'll tell you, stay right there and pray and fast. No, I'm going to get out of here fast. Let me get out of here real fast. I'm going to fast, all right. They'll have you stand in craziness. But see, we have subscribed to listening to this religious rhetoric or foolishness because folks don't have a title, right? Because folks don't have a title. If you didn't go to theology school, people don't want to listen to you because they think you don't have common sense. You don't need to go to theology school. Half of the ones that went to theology school, they still ain't doing God's way. That's just another way for them to get money off the back of saying God. That's another way to get people in debt and for them to get money using God. I don't think you should be paying for no theology school. That's what I think. I personally think that. Right? I personally think that. That's just my belief. If you're doing it solely how God say, if he called you, you should have people teaching. Yes, you take care of people. I believe in taking care and honoring people and making sure they're taken care of. I do. But the way we have it, no. But believe people. I want to get off on a, but believe people when they show you. Believe folks. I don't care. Take that mama, daddy, take that title off them and look at how they're treating you. Them folks don't treat you right. They leave you out of everything. They don't include you like they include everybody else. You be the last one to know stuff. You be the last one to know anything like you don't exist. They treat you like you dead. Look, they treat you like you don't fell off, like you don't died off from here. And it ain't funny. It is not funny, right? I shouldn't be laughing. But you get what I'm saying. They treat you like you don't exist. They do all kind of stuff without you. And you over there alive and well, breathing and everything. You over there alive and well. And they treat you like you don't exist. But then when you call them out on that foolishness, you the villain. When you call them out, and when you bring up what they've done, and there's no excuse. There's no excuse. When you call people out on their foolishness, they be looking at you like you're crazy. They'll make up some lie. They'll be like, look, I don't even address people anymore. People know what they're doing. I just cut them off. I go ghost on them. I don't have time to be explaining to grown people what you've done. One, I don't even have people like that around. If you wishy-washy, if I feel anything, if I see any little switch up, any little slight jealousy, any little slight control, any little slight drama, I don't deal with it. There's no more benefit of the doubt. I used to give people benefit of the doubt, family, friends, nobody get benefit of the doubt anymore. I have friends. I do have friends. I don't give folks the benefit of the doubt anymore. People need to work on themselves. I don't chase people, and I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't need a whole lot of friends. First, I'm going to be a good friend to myself. I'm going to treat myself how I want others to treat me. And then I'm going to expect that from others. And I don't mind cutting people off. I don't mind not dealing with them. Before, I used to be afraid. I used to be afraid of confrontation, confronting people, speaking up for myself. Because, when you're like that, you've been rejected. You have childhood trauma, right? You have childhood trauma that you haven't dealt with, and you just have to work through it. It's okay. We all got some type of trauma, but it's your job to work through it. And that's why it was my job to deal with it. I don't care about hurting people's feelings. What I'm not going to do is I'm not finna take this mess home, and I'm not finna have it ruminating in my head, because I know I'm a kind person. I'm a fun person. I like to have fun. I don't like all that drama, and I'm going to bring you that every time. I'm consistent. I am consistent with me. You ain't going to find me switching up, getting jealous, hating on you because you got something going on. I like to attend community events. I like to attend community events. I like to just randomly just pop up. I love spending time in the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree, that's my Disney. I just go there and just be looking for stuff to spend money on. Looking to get them people stuff, and I shouldn't be getting them people stuff. That's what I do. Or fellowshipping with friends. If it's somebody I feel like they got good vibes, I'll be like, oh, let's go out to lunch, let's do something. But I love spending time with myself, because I started out young in relationships that I shouldn't have been in, because I really wasn't taught. I really wasn't taught that. Right? I've been in a relationship since I was 14 up until just recently. And I never really had the time to get to know me. I was always trying to please and serve someone else. So I finally got a chance and time to get to know me and love me. So I love spending time with myself, because it was always about my children, always about my husband, always about the boyfriend, always about the family, always about my sibling. It was always about other people. When you're a people pleaser and you've been through rejection, you always focused on other people. But I took all that focus back. And I had to get delivered from that, because I felt selfish doing that. You know, when you're religious, you got to be delivered from that. I felt selfish doing that, just falling back and pouring into my own cup. I felt like I was but because that's not me. But I needed me in that season. I needed me in a season, and God put me in isolation. And I really had to deal with me and get over being afraid of losing people, or what people would think and how they would feel, and always overextending myself and never resting, and just giving. I stopped that foolishness. I did. And that brought me so much peace, so much joy. I mean, I can focus on all the things that God got me working on. I spend all my energy in my projects and the things that God has me working on. I put all my energy in there, all my energy in my children and my job, and just, myself, my health, taking care of myself. Now I have the energy because I've stopped giving it to everybody. If it's not my children, if I can't give it to the ones I'm taking care of, I protect my peace. I protect it because I need it. For so long and so many years, I didn't protect my peace. I had no boundaries. I was afraid of telling people no. I was afraid of making people mad. Now you get mad, get glad, get sad, all of that. I don't care, because I know that I bring kindness, I bring joy. When I come into your life, you're going to be improved. I bring good energy, and you don't get that from everybody. Everybody's not doing that. You're not leaving at peace when certain people leave your life. When I leave your life, you're going to leave in peace. I'm not bringing you drama. I'm not trauma dumping on you. If anything, I'm encouraging you. I'm motivating you. I'm helping you. I'm praying for you. Still giving. Look, I'm still giving. I told you all that stuff I stopped doing it. Still giving. I understand, Blue Girl. Yes, that's why I come on here. I come on here when I'm unctioned to, okay? So I come on here when I'm unctioned to. I don't have my air conditioner on because it's going to blow into yeah, you have to. And I know it is not too late. I'm in my 40s, shy. Listen, and I just got delivered from all that. But I'm glad I did, because now I get to take all my energy and do what God has called me to do. Work on the things that I've always wanted to work on myself, my health, my body. And that's another thing. When you're giving and doing so much, you're not taking care of yourself. You're not getting your regular doctor checkups and taking care of yourself. You're taking care. And all them years, I made all my kids' appointments. They had their appointments taken care of, making their appointments. Every blue moon, I'm checking on me. I had to stop that foolishness. Taking care of everybody else. But my kids, that's what I was supposed to do. But I didn't know how to balance that out, when I was married, always trying to please that person in the marriage. That I forgot about me. I forgot about taking care of me. And nobody wasn't feeding me, pouring it to me. I didn't have that reciprocation. It's different when you have somebody pouring back into you and encouraging you and bringing you good energy and not being depleted, draining you mentally, and their family draining you and their family issues. And I can't do all that no more. I'm glad I was delivered. And now it's peaceful. Y'all need to go look at my old videos. My old videos will tell you, because I look like I was stale. Go look at my old videos. I was coming out of it. I was looking stale. Now I look fresh. I look like a fresh pack of cookies now. Before, I look like a pack of stale cookies. You know how you get some stale saltine. Ain't nothing like a fresh pack of saltines. You get the fresh ones; they're real fresh. But them stale saltine, you don't want to eat them. you know, and that's what it takes. It takes a change. You know, takes a change and being okay and healing and getting in that secret place, crying out to God. I'm be honest, I couldn't do this without God. Without me having a personal relationship, I ain't go to no psychic. I didn't go to no yoga, no Pilates, and you know how people try to do everything else, but go to God. No, it was all God. It was having a personal relationship, not being religious, having a personal relationship. Going and sit down and create your own altar. Get the word, get you a journal, listen to your worship music, and have God to deal with you. Have him deal with you. And that's what I did. Still doing. I haven't arrived. Still doing. But praying, fasting, going to spirit-led events where they were doing deliverance, I did that. And God will lead you to the right events, because you don't want to be going to everybody's events. But he will lead you to the right place. You will know that that's where you should be. You will get a confirmation. Someone will give you a word that only you know. And that's what I did. I did that. I'm like, I got to get over this. I got to fight. And it was a lot of fighting. Exactly. And that's what they'll do. People will take from you. But see, you have to have boundaries. It's okay to have boundaries. I had to learn that. I had to learn. And when I learned boundaries, my peace came back tenfold. When I learned boundaries, my peace peace came from nowhere. South, east, the north, and the west. And when I tasted that peace, I refused to let anyone else. I refuse to let anyone take my peace away from me. I would cut anyone off. I would unsee you. I don't know if that's a word, but I would act like you don't exist to protect my peace. To protect my peace, I will act like you don't exist. And if I see a smidget of foolishness, messiness, drama, I will keep my distance. I'll keep my distance because I'm not going to interject myself in drama. If I see people always talking about folks, gossiping, any of that, I just won't deal with them. I'll keep my distance. I'll keep my distance. Be cordial, but I never get close to them. I never give them my energy. Never give them what they're looking for. But anyways, I got to go for my store closed. I think it's closed at 7. So I just wanted to come talk to y'all about that. Just, believe people the first time. Believe them. Don't try to repaint them. I don't care who it is. Don't say family and friends. People, period. Move those titles and watch how people treat you and believe that. I don't know, for some reason, it's so hard for us to believe that our family is just evil. Some of our family are haters. You can't believe that your siblings could be a hater. You can't believe that your mom, the one who birthed you, could be a hater. Your auntie, your cousins, people don't want to believe that. You have to believe that. You have to see it for what it is. See that thing for what it is. See it. Deal with it. Cry if you have to. process it, but you have to see the truth for what it is. The truth is the truth. You can't undo the truth. Some people got, you need to go on YouTube and listen to some of these stories. People got some worse. I thought I had little concerns, I thought I had little concerns. I'm over here crying about, you know how it is when you think you have some issues going on and you tell somebody else your story and they got a worse case. And you like, dang, this little chump change, this minor compared to what they got going on. Some people, family members try to unalive them out of pure jealousy and hate. That's a bit extreme, but it is true. It's true. And the one main thing you have to believe, because a lot of people don't believe in this. We say this foolishness. If we don't believe in it, it can't hurt us. That's not true. That's not true. The main thing we have to believe from family is that your family is putting curses on you. Some of your family members are putting curses on y'all. They're going to see Cleo and the rest of them witches on y'all. They want what you all have, and people don't want to believe that. And you will be surprised. You have to believe it. Stop ignoring it and believe it. So I gotta go, you all, this time, for real. You all be blessed. Have a good day.